Rising from the depths of a state called Michigan, two inebriated dorks prepare their plan for intergalactic domination. Mixing their extensive knowledge of geek culture with their insatiable thirst for alcohol, these two man-children bring you a show like you've never heard before. They will tell you tales from faraway lands and have you questioning their taste in beer. But make no mistake, friend, for the best coverage of your favorite comics, films, and TV shows, there's no better source for you to get your fix. So listen up, strap in, and prepare yourself as Jake and Tom conquer the world.
Hold up!
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with him, right?
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett keep pushing them straight into the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go. This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have tons of nothing left in the tank. Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody. This is another episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. My name is Dave. Of course, I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here, the host of WECP.
Aaron.
There he is, alive and well, and also the host of Joe's Fantasy Field Goal.
Ben
Field Goal. Are we just changing the name of the podcast to Ben's?
No, it's still Joe's Fantasy Field Goal,
brought to you by
hosted by Ben Field Goal.
I like it. I dig it. So, we all put our posts up on Facebook. Well, I put yours up for you, but
yes,
did not go the way that either one of us.
I don't use the Snap Face or the InstaChat
or the My Face.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I just put mine up on the Facebook group.
Right, that's what I did too. Yeah,
and also what did I use? 3113.
I think you had 3113.
No, 3117.
I had 3113.
I had 3117.
3117. Yeah. And you had 377.
Yep.
All right.
So I was the closest.
I was close.
Closest. Yeah, that did not play out well. Panic button time. Time to freak out. Are we scared? Is anyone nervous? Hello, I'm Roger Bueller. Is anyone like that?
No, I'm nervous about the simple fact that they didn't make any adjustments.
Yeah, that was tough.
I'm.
He looks shocked.
Not even the slightest bit nervous.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. The only thing I don't like is that for 7 of the past 8 quarters, that defense has been really bad. And I know last year's a totally different team, and it's a totally different game, but we've seen now the Patriots not look good the last 2 times we've seen them, except for 17 minutes out of 120.
I don't know. I don't think I agree with that.
You think they played well in the Super Bowl?
They gave up 28 points, and one was a pick six. So,
but that counts into not playing well.
The whole team. That's what they scored, right? 28.
It was 34. No, it was 31 to 3. No, Jesus.
The Pats
28-3.
Yeah.
25 points. Yeah, 28 points.
Yeah, one was a pick six. So they gave up 3 touchdowns to the best offense in the NFL that year.
Right. Yeah.
And they held them to what, 3 points?
Well, they gave up 28 points or 21 points through like 2.5 quarters.
24 if you count the whole game and take away the pick six. They gave up 24 points.
Right.
To the best offense in the NFL.
Yep.
The offense didn't even look shaky in the Super Bowl. I know they only scored however many points in the first 3 points in the first half or whatever.
Right.
But they moved the ball down the field.
Right.
2 separate times. And then one Blunt fumbled when they were
Yeah, you forget about that, yeah.
10 yards away from the end zone. And one, Brady threw a pick six in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then they gave up 42 points on Thursday to the 17th ranked offense.
Yes.
They've given up 60 points in 2 games.
This week, The last game,
70 points.
they
I'm
were
sorry, 70
really.
points
The last game, the defense looked really bad. This
Right.
game,
Yeah,
the defense
for
looked
real,
really
for
bad.
real. Yeah.
But the Super Bowl, I don't think the defense actually played that bad.
See, I think 21 points allowed in 2.5 quarters is a lot. And then the whole game changed. Like, they got the strip sack. They got the, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess I'm looking at the whole thing
the
as
whole
opposed
result,
to
right.
splitting it into a half and a half.
Right. But that's what I mean.
And
Like,
also
they
against
played
the-
well for 17 minutes in the
Well,
Super
actually,
Bowl.
they gave up 14 points in the first half. If you take away the pick six, they gave up 21
That's why
points
it's
in
a
the first.
2.5 quarters.
Yeah,
Right. You know what I mean?
and
Because,
then in the start of the third quarter,
they
gave
got a
up another
touchdown. Right. So, like, through 2.5 quarters in that game, they gave up 21 points,
Yeah,
which is,
yeah.
you know what I mean, which is on pace for.
But
I
also,
don't know,
caveat, they were
35.
playing the best offense in football,
Right.
in like a historic offense at that. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not like the Kansas City Chiefs that put up 42 points on you. That's really
That's
bad.
worse.
The
Absolutely
Kansas City
worse.
Chiefs
Yeah,
offense
yeah.
should never put up more than 20 points on you.
And how is it that Hightower comes off the field
Yeah.
and everybody stands around holding their hands in their heads, don't know what the fuck to do?
Right.
Oh, we'll give the green dot to
Van Noy.
Van Noy, and everybody's confused. He did it last year. Why is there so, like, my big finger is pointing at the coordinators. Make a fucking adjustment.
Right.
Well, this is why I am not in panic mode. Hightower comes off the field. Who do they put in?
They put in Van
Cassius
Noy.
Marsh.
Cassius Marsh.
Well,
How long?
yeah, Van Noy was on the field.
yeah, was on the
How
field,
long?
yeah.
How long has Cassius Marsh been playing for the New England Patriots?
Right, like 6 days.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have a linebacker out there in a key spot who's been on the team for 6 days. So their coordinator he's handicapped now. He can only call what Cassius Marsh knows.
So to that point is, I look at Belichick and go, well, what the fuck? You gave me 2 great corners, but nothing else.
Right. Well, they
you
acquired
have
Cassius Marsh.
Yeah, because you cut 3 fucking 2 defensive ends are on the IR,
Yeah.
and you cut the other one.
Right. They're
So-
thin. I mean, then that's what I was saying on the hashtag Dave
Yeah.
Speaks is that they're a lot thinner than a lot of people think. Like, I don't think they're depth. Remember, we were like, oh god, another great depth guy.
Yeah, he's cut
That's
them all.
all gone.
He's cut them all.
Right, and I don't blame him because they probably weren't working. I trust when he cuts
Yeah, but
someone that means that they can't help them because he'll take people that are not good in the NFL that can help them.
Except for
Brandon Bolden and brings him back.
Brandon Bolden, sneak peek,
you
right
knew,
back.
you knew that was going to happen.
I just
I
thought
didn't
it was,
think- I
I
really
just thought it was
didn't.
funny. We were watching the game and I go,
And
who the hell's 38?
You knew Brandon Bolden wasn't going to get picked up,
Right, yeah.
so he's
I
a
thought he'd
wave.
be like a practice squad guy or
Yeah,
something.
but then they
yeah.
put Mitchell on the IR, so
Right.
Brandon Bolden comes back
Right.
on the.
and then Dorsett,
Yeah.
was active too, but that takes Brissett's spot and whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not panicking, obviously, but that was as bad of an outmatched performance I've seen in a long
Well,
time.
dude, I said it before when me and Dave were talking before. Catching Andy Reid early in the season, man, the dude coaches his ass off. That was all scheme. To me, it was all scheme. I'm not worried about the Pats at all. They always get better as the season goes on. They've always been a team that down the stretch looks better than they ever have. Catching them early is that's always when shit happens that looks ugly. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
The year 2014 we were just talking about before we started recording. They started off 2-2. They get smoked by Miami in the season opener, 33-20. To a Miami Dolphins team that's not very good.
Right.
Then they barely beat Minnesota. They barely beat Oakland. They get blown out by the Chiefs again early in the season.
Right. And then they were on to Cincinnati.
And then they just
right. Went on
clicks.
toward pace. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so
My biggest concern is, and this is again something we were talking about earlier, the chemistry is an obvious issue.
Yeah,
and
it's
then it
not there
started to
yet.
click for me even a little bit more, even after we were talking, that Edelman, Hogan, Amendola, Malcolm Mitchell, Rob Gronkowski, kinda.
Yeah.
Right. But okay, so those were all guys that Brady's played with before. Hogan
Yeah.
has 1 year, Mitchell has 1 year of experience. Mitchell out, Gronk eliminated from that game on single coverage from Eric Berry.
great coverage, though.
Yeah, Edelman out.
Done for the season.
Amendola, yeah, but Eric Berry, yeah.
Guy can't catch a break.
Amendola out, Edelman out. That leaves Chris Hogan as your only known commodity.
I don't know how
what?
long Amendola is out for. He's got a concussion. I honestly don't think he'll be ready for the game this week.
I mean as far as the performance on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So Chris Hogan is the
He
only
was your
known
best wide receiver on the field.
Right.
Like, he had the most catches. Like,
right.
catches
And
Who, Chris Hogan?
No.
Amendola.
Amendola. He's the most consistent player
because
on the offense.
So Brady looked off. And it has 100% to do to me with chemistry. I don't want to. It's not fucking. Oh, he's getting old. He threw a fucking 60-yard stripe to Brandon Cooks down the sideline for a fucking huge gain, 20-20. That's not something a 40-year-old quarterback can do. It's not.
I have a conspiracy.
It's not that he has no chemistry with these receivers, and it's all about, if I expect you to run a 10-yard out, you better run a 10-yard out, not a 9-yard out, not an 11-yard out, because I'm expecting you to run a 10-yard out.
You need to be a certain place, certain time.
It's just learning how he works with these receivers is going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
He couldn't find a rhythm, which is why I think Edelman was always important to the offense, is because he was the rhythm guy. Like, all right, I need to get a couple completions to really get in a rhythm. Edelman. Now I can throw to Gronk. Edelman. Now I can throw over here. It's the rhythm guy. Amendola stepped in as the rhythm guy. That's why he was having a pretty good game. And the offense looked like it was moving pretty well. And then Amendola gets hurt. And now there's no rhythm. There's no rhythm at all. He doesn't have that rhythm guy.
Right.
So I think Dorsett gets more time to learn the offense. As he does, we're going to see Hogan move inside, I think, a little.
Yeah.
You know how we always talk about, like, Brady's body language and, you can't really read into it. Brady, he has his reasons and he does things behind the closed doors that nobody sees, with his relationships with guys and stuff. We're watching that game, and I watched the first pass to Allen.
Yeah.
It was a tough catch, but it was catchable. He had his hand on it.
Right, he touched it, yeah.
He dropped that pass. The next time he gets thrown at, something else happened, and I just watched Brady just shaking his head,
looking at him. Yeah, like he was done for the night.
Yeah, I'm not throwing to you anymore tonight.
Right.
Like, you're done for me.
That is, yeah.
And the other thing is, they never really utilize Burkhead at all.
Yeah, I mean,
White played a lot.
White
played a lot.
White's gonna play a lot.
Yeah,
right.
The thing is, and you can actually see it. What I was talking about on the Dwayne Allen pass. The pass was it was a bad, considering Dwayne Allen was so open and Brady had time, it looked like a terrible pass.
Yeah.
Right.
But was it a terrible pass, or was Brady expecting Dwayne Allen to be in a spot that Dwayne Allen wasn't in?
Because, like you said, if he just kept running straight towards the ball.
Because Dwayne Allen starts looking for the ball and slowing down, and Brady threw it like he was going to catch it in stride.
Yeah.
So that's a chemistry thing. If Brady knows that Dwayne Allen is going to turn around for the ball every time they run that play, he's going to hit him in the numbers.
Yeah.
If Brady's expecting him to catch it in stride, he's going to throw that weird lob, which is exactly what it was. He was wide open. There wasn't anyone, and Brady threw like a lob pass.
He could run under it.
So he could run under it and catch it in stride and get more yards after the catch. It looked like Dwayne Allen was looking for almost like a hitch, like I'm open, hit me now.
Yeah. Like how Edelman normally does. Like he'll stop in a little open pocket somewhere and then hit me here and then I'll make him move.
It's just a chemistry thing. Like, to me,
I agree with that.
Even though they got blown the fuck out and no one was expecting
But they
it.
also got blown out like within a 6-minute span.
Yeah,
like
it was close,
right.
and all of a sudden they just gave up 2 quick touchdowns.
Right, and it was over.
It was way closer than we thought it was going to be, though, which is like we weren't expecting it to be even close.
Yeah.
See, I made the mistake of saying I wanted a close game.
Yeah, so fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I never want a close game, ever.
Some of the interesting stats, though, is like Brady was, so from passes 30 and up, right? Pass attempts 30 and up, he was 0 for 6.
No. He had the 60-yard pass to...
That was before. That was like pass number 30.
From
like 31
well,
and up.
Amendola goes out of the game.
Amendola goes out of the game, right. In the fourth quarter, he was 3 of 10 with 35 passes.
Amendola's out of the game.
Out of the game. 3.5 yards per pass attempt.
Yeah.
So you could see there's a definite shift. He wasn't good all night. In the first quarter, he was 7 of 12, 58% completion. Not good, right?
It's not awful, though.
It's not awful, but that's Colin Kaepernick numbers, and everyone says that he's not good enough to be in the league, right? Second quarter, 2 of 5. Only threw the ball 5 times in the second quarter, 40%. Third quarter, 4 for 9, 44%. 101 yards on those 9 throws, his best average per quarter.
That's the Cooks throw.
That's the Cooks throw. So yeah. And then
he's really 3 of 8 for
right.
Take away 60-yard reception.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right.
40
His
yards.
long was 54 yards on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a 54-yard play. So because he threw it from his 20, but the line of scrimmage was at like the whatever. So and then the fourth quarter 3 of 10. And then fourth quarter, within 7 points, he was 3 of 7, which is not Tom Brady-esque at all. When it's a close game, that's normally where he goes like 8 of 9 on a drive, 75 yards, whatever. Like that's the Dr. Brady comes out and he starts cutting people up. But this was just like there was no one to throw to.
Like, to be somewhat relevant, this was like Hurricane Irma like hit on New England. It was like the perfect storm of like. This is the Kansas City Chiefs that have the perfect matchup for Rob Gronkowski. Like, we're going to put Eric Berry on him. He's going to shut him
one-on-one
down.
One-on-one.
And
that's
if you
the
can
bad problem that other NFL teams can't do.
There's no other team in the NFL that has a like even
Cam Chancellor.
I don't even think that. Like Cam Chancellor is
he's not fast enough.
He's nowhere near as good of a coverage safety like Eric Berry is.
Right.
No other team, maybe the Giants, Landon Collins might be able to do it.
Yeah. But it's thin air. It's rare air to be able to do that.
There's very few teams. So you have the team that can put – they already have one good corner, so you're taking out a wide receiver pretty much out. He threw at Marcus Peters, I think, one time.
Right. That was probably Chris Hogan's one catch.
No, he didn't catch it.
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was. I remember the play because he literally threw it to a spot where only the Patriots receiver could get the hand on it.
Yeah.
Peters' hand was like right here.
Right.
So
and it just went beyond the
he threw it like the only spot that Pats could get it, and it was they couldn't get it.
To me, that's what a lot of those throws was. If my guys can't get it, no one
one's
will.
going to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how it looked. A lot of that looked.
Okay, so to go along your point, Joe, chemistry. To go along with Dave's point, the defense, like you've got a lot of guys that are just like the deep, especially with was it Marsh? He's new to the team.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, other than was it Dorsett?
Yeah.
Everyone else has been there since the beginning of the season.
No, but he only has one in that second half. He only had one guy on the field that played with him last year, Hogan.
It doesn't. I understand.
Oh, but no, you're talking about game plan wise. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about guys that you had since the OTAs have been there.
Right. Okay.
So you've been to, and since the trade, you've had Cooks on the team. Like I'm not saying it happens overnight, but you've had a couple months to work with these guys. You should have a little rapport.
But he's also had Edelman.
Okay, so that's his mistake for relying on one guy.
Yeah, but you're used to an offense that runs a certain way with this.
Okay, so
now you're talking about having to change the game plan within like 12 days because Edelman got hurt 2 weeks ago. You know
the whole point of the Patriots is they always change their game plan.
But the thing is, now you have guys playing out of position where they normally play because instead they put Amendola in. So now you would imagine this is the game plan they had planned with Edelman,
right?
But with Amendola there, and Amendola was
played a good game.
Played a good game.
Right, 7 catches, 100 yards, whatever. Like
when Amendola goes out, now people start to shift. Now maybe they put Cooks where Amendola was, but Cooks hasn't played that position. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's been playing. So maybe what we see is Dorsett on the outside, Cooks kind of taking that Amendola-Edelman role, and then Hogan stays where he was because Brady's used to Hogan where he is.
Yeah, but he didn't even have a good game.
He was on Marcus Peters.
He was covered by an all-pro corner.
No, I'm just saying,
to me, that's the biggest point is that Kansas City's defense, like you said, Eric Berry was able to play one-on-one and take Rob Gronkowski out of the game.
That's never going to happen
Marcus
again.
Peters was able to play one-on-one.
Well, not this season. He's out.
Right, yeah, that's true, yeah.
No, but I'm saying...
Like, no matchup will
for
be able
Gronk,
to do that.
is never going to be one-on-one.
No, I'm saying, even if you play him in the postseason, it can't happen
yeah,
again.
Yeah.
Because he's injured. He's done for the season.
And on the defense... So, to me, there are a lot of positive takeaways from this game. You scored 27 points on an offense with an offense that...
Didn't throw for a touchdown.
Didn't throw for a touchdown. And
defense.
Brady had a terrible game. You still put up 27 points.
Right.
That's an outlier.
But against a
very good Kansas City Chiefs defense. Like, this is not a slouch of a defensive unit.
Now, counter argument to that, though. When's the last time the Patriots played someone that had over 125 penalty yards and they lost the game? They had a lot of that game handed to them. Like a lot of the times they wound up at the goal line were a lot of penalties.
A lot of those penalties were on offense too, though.
That's true. Yeah.
There were a lot of holding calls.
Every time they started to do something, they called themselves back. And
there were a lot of holding calls for Kansas City. There was the Travis Kelce fucking dumb, stupid,
what an idiot.
Like taunting thing he did.
Did you see the thing before the game where they show where he threw the flag at the ref, where he threw his towel?
He's done it. He's done it. He's got a temper on it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So they have a lot of those penalties were on offense. They had a lot of holding. They also was a lot of defensive holding. So there were a lot of times some of those incompletions where I don't know, maybe defensive holding.
It was a very physical game.
Maybe defensive holding eliminates the pass, I would imagine.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a pass.
Doesn't count as a pass.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of like where Brady looked worse than he actually was, where it's like he's throwing at a guy because he knows he's being held and it's just like, hey,
to me, he's the best in the league at identifying a penalty and throwing into it.
But the offense looked perfectly fine the first 2 drives of the game.
Yeah.
Right down the field. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, they scored
touchdown.
quick. They scored real quick, yeah.
They drive down the field again and they get that Gronk, like, it's not a touchdown.
Right, yeah. Gillisley gets
blah, blah, blah. And then they were in the red zone again, and they try and do the 4th and 1.
Right.
Which I hate the play call. They do it twice. It's a terrible play call. Yeah.
We had this argument about it, and I said the reason why you do that is you give them the ball back at the 10.
Yeah.
Oh no, I like going for it on 4th and 1. I don't like handing it to Gillisley in a super tight, like, obviously you would think Gillisley can get a fucking inch, but if you don't, why not spread and then hand the ball off?
Right.
Why?
Yeah, don't let them.
Why telegraph like this is what I'm going to do?
Why put 3 tight ends on the field?
This is what we said before.
This
is what I said to Dave before. It was a 2 tight end.
It was 2 tight end. Yeah,
no, there was 3.
And what did they come out?
No, we talked about 2. You're making the point, like, why put 3 tight ends? Like, you're taking a shot
3.
at us.
Dave,
but we didn't talk about 3
on there.
I'm not saying there wasn't 3 there.
You told me you guys could go with
we said
the
2 tight
big
ends.
offense.
When they were moving the ball down the field, what did they?
2 tight ends. It was 2 tight ends.
What did they come out in?
2 tight ends.
And they moved right down the field.
Right.
2 tight end formation. They moved right down the field.
That's true.
That's what they came out in.
Right.
Okay, so he can run one formation, and that's
I actually think now, especially now,
because after that, McDaniels did jack shit in the second half.
Yeah, I think especially now,
Tom Brady threw fucking 30% in the second half.
My point is,
you can't always blame a coach. The players.
Yes, I do, because he doesn't change shit. He doesn't change anything. You can't fucking sit there, keep playing the horrible fucking.
So they ran the same
calling.
play. They ran the same play for 30 minutes.
You're trying to
They
throw
changed
fucking
it.
deep for no reason. You're
I
not fucking
like
opening it up.
I didn't like
the
the play
deep
call.
shots.
I didn't like the play call.
My
But that's
point
what Brandon
is-
Cooks is, though.
How
but
often
he
do
was-
you see
it
them
looked like-
run the fucking play
Wait
action?
a minute.
They were
Wait,
barely
hold on,
running
wait,
play
wait,
action.
Wait. You said that you don't like the fact that they're throwing the ball downfield anymore. That's exactly what this offense turned into. We're like, we got Brandon Cooks, we got Chris Hogan, we got all these guys, we got this guy, that guy, that guy.
Once
That's a
elements
downfield.
hurt,
That's a vertical stretch. We talked about this,
and none of
for
those
a
guys
month.
got open.
We talked about right. So what do you want them to do? Well, they couldn't move horizontally. That's what I was going to say. Eric Berry took Rob Gronkowski out of the game 1-on-1. Marcus Peters takes Chris Hogan out of the game 1-on-1.
Whoever he's matched up
Hold
on.
on, wait. So he goes, I'm sorry, but 1-on-1. Marcus Peters takes Chris Hogan out. Now, Brandon Cooks has the other safety and the other corner on him. He's doubled all day. What does that leave you? That leaves you 7 guys in the middle of the field, so your running backs are covered. You have 4-man rush, which didn't really get to Brady much, so they were able to shut down everything. Who was fucking open?
And your second tight end.
Who was open?
He did nothing.
Who was open?
Nothing.
Who
Alan,
was open? You're making my fucking point.
No,
Who was
you
open?
said that you guys are saying the 2 tight end thing works. He didn't do shit.
How well did they move the ball when they had 2 tight ends on the field?
He didn't do shit the whole game. We're talking about Allen.
We're not talking. You're talking about Allen. You're talking about Allen. I'm talking about the offense. When they had 2 tight ends on the field, they were much more efficient than when they had 3 wide receivers. Because you know why? They don't have good fucking wide receivers right now. Everyone's hurt. They don't have anybody.
No, because your coordinator and your fucking quarterback
What do you want them to
can't
do?
figure anything
What do you
out.
want them to do? Fucking fold their arms
Figure
over,
it the
wiggle
fuck
their
out,
arms?
man.
Yeah,
That's what you're
you
paid
need
to
talent.
do.
You need talent, and that team's not that fucking good right now. That offense is not very good. They're not that talented. Brandon
Okay, so
Cooks-
then that's my point. I don't think that they're fucking.
So what do you want Josh McDaniels to do?
Figure it the fuck out.
Figure it
do
out. What,
something.
Just make people better? Oh yeah, you're going to be better now.
Okay, to
You're
play to
better
the
now.
point
You're
is
better now.
okay.
You're
This guy
better
hasn't
now.
been practicing in that position. Well, maybe you shouldn't be fucking practicing in that fucking position. Maybe you should be practicing in multiple positions on the fucking field.
Why?
Why? Because you're fucking wide receiver. You should be able to play the slot or the outside.
So you're supposed to take time away from what your job's going to be?
You should
need to practice.
fucking be training to do it all the time.
So do one. So all right,
you're handed the playbook. You know what you're supposed to do.
Let's do
Figure
one
it the
play
fuck
of this,
out.
one play of that, one play of this. Fucking master ball trade or jack of all trades, master of none. That's what you want all those players to be.
Figure it the fuck out, man.
The figure the fuck out doesn't fucking work. You can't just make players better.
If you can't take a guy and go, hey, I need you to play this right now. This guy's hurt.
They did, but they're not good.
And they're not doing it.
They're not good.
But
That's how you
also,
make my
the
point.
play
They're not
calling
fucking
wasn't
good.
working either. I'm telling you, man. I don't care that it's just okay. So then Brady's not making the fucking plays either. He's not reading it pre-fucking snap.
Who was open?
We're talking about how fucking Allen was wide open. And he
the
fucking
first-
missed the play.
the
That
first
was
play of the
one
game.
fucking play.
First play of the game.
Okay,
Right.
I'm using one fucking play.
Right.
But my point is, when they are open, he's not making the passes either.
Do you think that Josh McDaniels lost that game or the players lost that game?
I think Josh McDaniels and fucking Patricia both lost that game because and this is the only reason why. I would blame Belichick if it wasn't week one. If it's not week one, I think Belichick goes, get the fuck out of here, give me your fucking clipboard. You do this.
So,
Which he should have done in the first fucking place.
so how do you stop the Tyreek Hill touchdown? Matt Patricia's supposed to do something there, or Devin McCourty was supposed to be in position?
You pull a fucking Mike Tomlin and you fucking put your foot out there and trip him.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. No, but what do you want? The players got to make the plays. Though.
Okay, then,
that's the point.
Then the real point is our fucking GM/coach
Yep.
hasn't gotten any fucking talent. He did not build any
How-
depth.
but
He
just-
didn't build any depth, and he didn't get a fuck.
I disagree. I think they have plenty of talent. I do. Even with the injuries, I think they do. I just don't think their talent is on the same page yet. That's it.
I agree with that more.
I think that
I do think
come-
they're really
I think-
thin, though. I think they are thin.
I think come week 8, these same people that you saw in the game right now perform perfectly fine against the Kansas City Chiefs defense.
Then okay, Dave, I'll concede to the fact that the players need to play.
You know that.
Then here's the thing. Then I blame them as well for not fucking practicing hard enough and figuring it the fuck out. Use your fucking brain and fucking study the playbook.
I just don't think it's just a week one.
If you're handed a fucking playbook, you should, and you're a wide receiver, study the fucking wide receiver position.
They gave up 2 scores in 8 minutes, and if they didn't,
Because they have no
talking
pass
about
rush.
a totally different game.
That's a whole nother fucking
No, we're
argument.
talking about
to
a
what I'm
totally
talking
different.
about.
We're talking about a totally different game. If they win the game, we're not going to say, "Oh man, this team is terrible and the coaches are awful," and blah 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 blah. We're not going to go nuts. They just didn't play well. The guys didn't play well. They had a bad game.
And
Tom Brady going 14-36, 16-36,
an
14 for
anomaly.
it's fucking.
So to your
it doesn't
point,
happen.
with Gronk being taken out by the safety,
Right, it's a
and-
math problem.
Okay, so but the thing is, we have a fucking space scientist as our fucking defensive coordinator.
Right.
He should be able to fucking figure out how to fucking stop the
Hey,
offense.
congratulations! A fucking rookie running back beat you.
then. Okay, that's another thing that's
you took away
sad.
their 2 best options.
You
You
don't
took
wanna-
away their 2 best options.
You don't want to put it on Belichick. I think
I
you
put
gotta
it on him.
You got to put part. I don't even put it on the coordinators.
I do
put it
because they're the
squarely
ones
on-
that are choosing the plays. If Belichick doesn't chime in, that's on him for fucking
but I-
telling
All
them
plays run, dude.
stop
Yeah,
it.
they do.
What the
They
shit?
They schemed exactly how they had planned to scheme, and they got caught off guard by a rookie running back who was better than they thought.
Yes.
The only reason why I say
exactly.
you have to blame the coordinators because both of these guys have either been a head coach or have fucking 2 years in a row.
Patricia
both
hasn't
of them,
been a head coach.
Both of them have interviewed to be head coaches. If you're going to be a head coach, you need how to fucking make a play. You need to know how to fucking look at your roster and go. I have to move some people
You had
around.
two 70-yard touchdowns.
Right.
Yep.
So if you take one was a blown coverage, which
Okay.
is strictly on Gilmore
Gilmore.
and McCourty,
Yep.
not communicating, and one was on a linebacker you got 6 days ago being left in single coverage on a
rookie running back you've never seen before.
on a rookie running back you've never seen before. If those are 2 plays that won't happen again for the rest of the season, I would put my life on it.
Why would you put a linebacker like that?
Because that's supposed to be Dante Hightower or Kyle Van Noy, not Cassius Marsh. But you get
None of them are fast enough.
It doesn't matter. They would know
Yes.
what to
Who
do in that
Who covers running
situation.
backs? Corners?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is your game plan didn't fucking work.
So who you wanted to put a corner?
I blame the defensive coordinator for not having a good game
don't
plan.
buy
Eric
that.
Rowe on Kareem Hunt?
I don't
Like, who
buy
do you
that.
want
I
coming?
buy if Dante Hightower is playing that position and is charged with covering Kareem Hunt, he's got the presence of mind to bump him when he comes out of the backfield and not react. Cassius Marsh is starting to go towards the line of scrimmage, sees Kareem Hunt coming
goes
out,
past him. He looked
and
like
he's
Dante.
already got blown by. That doesn't happen to Dante Hightower. I understand he's not as fast as Kareem Hunt.
Cassius Marsh looked like Devontae Freeman when Dante Hightower went past him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like, oh, damn it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, right away. What did you want him to do? That's not a coach thing.
No,
you don't have the players. You don't have a player. Unless you're going to put Eric Rowe or Patrick Chung or someone on there, how often is a safety or a corner covering a running back? That's a linebacker
So that's the
job.
point, is that they've always had guys, linebackers and safeties that supposedly can play both.
Right, and they're hurt.
Yeah, but if you have... Okay, so if you're saying...
One's hurt.
Huh?
The only person.
Well, Shea McClellan's hurt, too.
Yeah, but
He's on IR.
But my point is if you have you supposedly have 3 to 4 safeties that can play in this defense.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about Richards, and we always talk
he got
about...
fucking torched.
My point is, if you don't have the fucking... Okay, so that's your point. They don't have the players. That's on Belichick for not getting a fucking roster built.
that's fine. And
not building a fucking roster that
roster's
has...
They're
fine.
thin. I've been saying
the
they're thin.
roster's fine.
I think
It's
they're thin.
not
I think they're
at
thin.
all.
I think they're thin in one position.
What's that?
Defensive line. It's the only spot. Their front seven. We'll add linebackers.
I think that will help.
their front seven
That
is
will
thin.
help your not giving up those big fucking plays.
They wouldn't have given up the big plays if McCourty and fucking Gilmore were on the same page. This
So,
is a chemistry
How
thing.
many years has McCourty been on the team?
McCourty's been...
And how many years has
Gilmore
Patricia been on the team to be able to
Gilmore
fucking
hasn't.
scheme that out?
Gilmore
and figure it
hasn't
out?
been on the
Talking
team
about
that
a new
long.
guy.
okay, I get
So McCourty knows...
Knows.
Do you ever see McCourty and Malcolm Butler have that mistake before? No, because they
Very
are
rarely,
communicating.
Right.
He doesn't have that communication with Gilmore yet. It's just a work in progress thing.
I agree with that.
And
But
that,
I
if
do
you
think
have
they're
that,
thin,
if you
though.
have that work in progress, when it's figured out, that shit doesn't happen. Cassius Marsh is brand new. He's literally been there, like,
Right, as new as it comes.
yeah, and
But-
he doesn't know what to do in that situation.
My problem is what if Chris Hogan rolls his ankle, has a high ankle sprain next week?
You're
You're
gonna-
thin. You're really. That's what I mean by you have no wiggle room at all. Like, that's what I mean by thin. I don't think that they're a bad roster. I think their starters are fine. But you're running out of fucking juice. Like, you're putting the lemon on the grinder. It's fucking, you're getting low. Because if Hogan rolls his ankle next week or Cooks rolls his ankle next week, who's left?
Yeah, but the thing is, you
Hogan, maybe Amendola,
to me-
and then Philip Dorsett?
What you're seeing is a
That's it?
team that lost their best receiver. If you take Antonio Brown off the Steelers,
Right.
Big Ben
course, yeah,
is
right,
going to
right.
be like, he's
But
going to
that-
look off when he has to throw the ball.
I 100% agree with you, but that doesn't mean you're not running out of talent. Like, if you're losing your best player, right, and that's part of the formula.
Yeah.
here. Edelman's
But
out,
if they sign
so now there's not
if they
much
sign
left.
someone,
Right.
you're just going to get the same problems
be
you're
a
having
chemistry
right
issue.
now
Right,
until they figure it out.
Right. I agree with that. And that's what I mean. I don't know how it comes back, but it's
You
It's
want
just
Julian
chemistry.
Edelman back? He's not coming. He can't
right.
come
He's
back
not going
this
to.
year.
Yeah, he's not walking through that door.
Like, he's such an easy. Like, it's the when you watch this offense, you be like, oh, they're missing Julian Edelman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Without Julian Edelman, they're 4-6 in the 10 games they've missed with him in the past 3 years.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have more talent on this roster to replace Julian Edelman
That's
than they've
true.
ever had. So
Right.
you need to think they're going to figure out
Yeah.
how to replace Edelman for a year.
But it's Cooks Hogan. You can't rely on Dola. You can't rely on him.
He's just not going to stay for a whole game.
So-
Right. That's what I mean. Like, I think he's
you
a
know what
good
really
player.
hurts right now is the loss of Austin Carr. Is the
I was
cut
going
of
to
Austin
say
Carr.
that
Yeah,
he was their contingency plan, and they had to cut him,
Right.
They didn't
and
have
that's
to
what
cut him.
happened. No, they didn't have to, but that's
I would
that's
have
what they
rather
chose
cut that
to.
other tight end.
Jacob Hollister. Yeah. Yeah.
Odds are he's not getting picked up. Or if he does, then
Yeah,
whatever. You
right.
bring O'Shaughnessy back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I
I would rather have Austin Carr. And I'm sure, you know what? Hindsight 2020, I bet you Bill Belichick would rather have Austin Carr on this roster.
It's probably true. Especially if Austin Carter catches the touchdown on Eric Rowe next week.
Yeah, well, that's the
I
other
don't
thing.
think he's going to be
He
on the
ended up.
Saints.
He ended up with the Saints. Man.
He's not going to be
right.
on the Saints starting lineup. But
Right, no.
But the thing that agitates me the most is everyone that I've heard that's like shitting on the Patriots. It's like,
listen, if this offense, here's, Everyone, deep breath. Patriots fans, deep breath. You're going to be fine. Right. Now, if this offense comes out next week against a terrible Saints defense and can't move the fucking ball, now you can start to worry. Against a good Chiefs defense, you still put up 27 points. I know Brady looked bad, but you still scored 27 points. That normally wins you a game if your defense doesn't give up 42. And like I said, their game plan going into Kansas City, or their game plan going up against Kansas City, was if we eliminate Travis Kelce and we eliminate Tyreek Hill, we're going to win the game. And they pretty much did. I know Tyreek Hill had a 70-yard touchdown pass. That was a blown coverage. If that coverage isn't blown, Tyreek Hill has like 6 receptions for 40 yards. That's eliminating a receiver. Travis Kelce had nothing the whole game.
Yeah, he played like Allen or Gronk. Like he got nowhere.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah. Right. He was better running the ball.
If Kareem
better running the ball than receiving it.
If Kareem Hunt comes out and looks like a regular rookie running back and not like the greatest stud on earth, Kansas City doesn't move the ball.
Right.
So their game plan was sound. They just didn't execute perfectly like they normally do. You're just seeing something that every other NFL team goes through. We're just not used to seeing it on the Pats because they usually execute to a T.
Yeah.
Once again,
it's just a chemistry thing. They're learning how to play with each other. They don't know. This is more turnover than I've ever than most of the times.
Yeah. This was a lot of new pieces.
Their defensive line is almost completely new. That front seven is almost completely new.
Well, no.
The
only person that's different is
the defensive line is completely new.
Alan Branch, Trey Flowers, those guys are all the same.
Yeah, but
and
you lost Chris. You lost Long.
Yeah, right.
You lost. Now you have Guy in.
Yeah.
You brought.
Yeah, but
guys
Long
like
was only there for a year anyway, so it's like Guy's the same thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
And Long wasn't putting a lot of plays on people. He was steady and kept the guy in front of him.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Long had a good season, but it
wasn't anything that I would ever write home about.
And now you have Hightower gone.
Yeah,
so
no, that's huge. But
that blows.
Once again, like I said,
it's their pass. To me, the long term thing you need to take away from this is that their pass rush is not good.
Right. And all right, here's the other thing that I noticed about the defense, because I'm going to stay on that, because if I get going on offense again, I'll just keep shitting on McDaniels being a horrible coordinator. But
real quick, Mike Gillislee had 45 rushing yards on 15 attempts. He averaged 3 yards a carry. James White led the team, and Rex Burkhead had 5 yards per carry on 3 carries. Chris Hogan had 17 yards on 3 carries. James White, 10 carries, 3.8. Only one guy averaged 4 yards a carry as a running back, and that was Rex Burkhead on 3 touches, and Deion Lewis had 9 yards. What do they do? You can't just make them run for more. Like, you can't say just get 5 yards a carry, get 6 yards a carry.
No, I didn't say
Gillislee is a little fucked up, though.
Right, yeah, because 3 of his carries were on the one.
3 of his carries were on the one for a touchdown, and 2 other ones were those fucking fourth and inches.
And then he also had a 16-yard long one. That was his long run. It was 16 yards. So it all kind of to me it balances out in a way because he had 1 run for 16 and then 4 carries for 1 yard. So it's like 5
carries for like 1 yard.
1 yard or less. Yeah, but I just mean like how do you?
No, but to the point is like how. I forgot what the hell I was going to say. You fucked me up.
McDaniels is.
I was there.
I think part of it, like, I don't like the play calling on the 4th and inches, but I don't blame all of the fucking like bad plays on McDaniels. Some of those are like Brady trying to make a lot out of something he doesn't need to make a lot of. Like, I hate when he takes really deep shots on like second and short or second and long.
But that's what we thought. That's like what we knew.
I know
they're going to stretch the field out.
I understand that, but I don't think you need to do it on second and short or second and long. I mean,
but when do you do it? On 3rd and long, like only when it's really predictable. On 1st and 10,
not when you're down. I don't. It's just a weird. Like
to me, that's the time to do it because if you.
But it's a low. It's a
low risk play or a low reward play.
Yeah, it's a low probability.
Okay, so Hightower went out of the game. The guy that we all thought was going to step in. This is what I remembered.
Yeah.
Fucking Harris. What did he do?
Yeah.
He went. Was he on the field? Because I didn't see him.
He was on the field.
Devin
hit.
I get it. He's new, but what the shit?
He's also a different role.
No, I know, but you're expecting him to come in and play the middle of the field.
I don't think Hightower.
It changes a little bit.
I don't think Hightower going out affects the same. Like, you know what Hightower going out affects? Your pass rush. I think it affects your pass rush more than anything because he is essentially, they moved him to outside linebacker.
They did, yeah.
He was the middle of the field guy. They've moved him to outside. He is essentially a Von Miller this year. I guarantee. Like, he's not going to line up on the line, but he's going to spend more time in the backfield than he does on the other side of the field, like in the opponent's backfield.
Right.
That's what I'm predicting for Dante Hightower. And I think Hightower's going to be fine. I don't think it's a long-term injury, what he has.
It's like an MCL sprain, so it's probably like 3 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks.
I hate Von Miller, but I like your analogy of it, but the simple fact that he is not Von Miller. So he's not going to get, and I don't think he's that great of a pass rusher.
Oh, I think he's an awesome pass rusher when he's coming from the second level. I don't think he could do what Von Miller does, where you line him up at defensive end, technically.
Yeah, he doesn't have to put his hand down. He's just got to be able to get past the guys. He doesn't have that speed at all.
I don't think you need speed. I think he's strong. I think Dante Hightower is strong, and he's more athletic than people give him credit for.
I think, no, because watching him, he doesn't have, like, for whatever reason, his hands.
And he's smart. That when they do the do your job too, when they do the thing where he talks about the play, he knows that Devonta Freeman doesn't see him.
Right.
And when he moves to the outside, he knows it.
Yep. That's true.
Having that general sense, I think he's every time they blitz him, dude, he's there. He gets there.
But see, that's the thing is, I think.
How often do you see him get picked up?
Well, I was going to say, I think he's a guy that you have to blitz. You can't.
That's what I'm expecting him to.
Yeah, but my point is, you're not getting the guys to crash the edge. You've moved him to outside, so he's supposed to be crashing the edge, creating the pocket to bow in, and then the guys up the middle push into him. You're not getting that from either. And your defensive tackles aren't putting a lot of pressure on him either.
I think you will, between Trey Flowers and I would think
he did have, what, 1 sack?
2.
2? Okay.
I think between Trey Flowers and Devonta Freeman, they would have got pretty decent pass rush if you rush like 4 down linemen or 3 down linemen, and then you blitz Dante Hightower from the second level.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I like
is where
him doing that.
Which is where he's best. Like, I agree with you. If he lines up on the outside or like just off the defensive line, that's not how I want him used.
Right.
When you watch it.
The delayed blitz with him, where
all the game tape, which is where I think it's intelligence.
Right.
He knows the perfect time on those delay blitzes, or even if he just goes right off the rip, he knows where to attack from, where he gets the quarterback. If you watch him, even if they get the ball off, he's there.
Yeah.
Every time they run those blitzes with Dante Hightower, he rarely gets picked up, and when he does, he usually can beat those halfbacks.
Mm-hmm. See, I think my issue is that you don't see them have a guy that's like. I mean, you can't compare the two, but like a Troy Polamalu. I know that's like he's an all-pro fucking safety, but they don't have a guy that can just slip through the fucking offensive line and get the fucking quarterback.
That's true.
They don't have that, and they don't have a guy that can fucking force the edge. Right. They don't have a pass rush. Even before Hightower, you had issues at pass rush. Well, now you lose fucking Hightower, you got nothing.
Last year they didn't have a pass rush either.
No, and they fucking got. They did have a lot of guys.
You know what hurts is Nink.
Yeah, no.
Nink was not a huge pass rush guy, but he was a quarterback pressure guy.
And he could set the edge.
Yeah.
Too. So, I mean, he was good at, especially like...
that's the other one that's missing from the defensive line.
Do you
Nink. Nink and Chris Long.
I was going to say, do you tickle his balls and try to get him to come out of retirement?
It's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
It's going to happen, but I would try. It's worth calling.
Literally beg? Start suckling some tit?
I don't think it's going to happen.
I got to tell you guys, as hot as that got, I'm glad that we have some fucking football to talk about because that was legit.
Hey, week 1.
It's week one.
It's week
1. Everybody welcome. Football is back.
Yeah, NFL's back.
Yeah, so like I said, take a deep breath. The offense will be fine next week. Am I worried about the Saints coming in and fucking scoring points now?
Of course.
Definitely.
You got to.
I'm just going to be
not the Saints coming in. They're actually playing in New Orleans. So.
Right.
Am I worried about Drew Brees at home putting up points after I just watched Alex Smith decimate this defense?
Right.
I would
like to think
they decimated the defense, but did they really? Like there were 2 huge plays.
Right.
We have to think. I would just general awareness of how the Pats have played my entire life.
Take 150 passing yards away from Alex Smith if you take away Kareem Hunt's 76-yard touchdown catch and Tyreek Hill's 70 touchdown. Or
so
70-yard touchdown.
I have to think, based on how much I've watched the Pats, that those huge plays are going to be eliminated.
Right.
Like they're not. That shit's not going to happen majority of the year.
Right. That's true.
Last year when they won the Super Bowl, you know what the long play they gave up was? Yardage wise?
What's that?
Last year, in the entire year, the longest play the New England Patriots defense gave up was 26 yards.
So to that point, that was always the whole scheme of their defense is bend, don't break, don't ever give up the deep ball. Now, to your point, Gillisley and McCourty gave up that one play.
It was such an obvious blown
McCourty,
coverage.
That's on them. But at the same time, putting that linebacker, like that linebacker, I understand what you're saying, but like that's what they don't do. And as a defensive coordinator, you have to look and see that they had a one blown coverage here. Go, fuck, I need to start figuring this out because they're going to start doing that because they see it.
Quarter. That's the thing. And also, the Patriots are the best second half adjustment team. They won that. They were winning at halftime.
Yes,
and
the problem is
the ball
they scored 10
with 8
points.
minutes left. Like how much time is left to adjust? Like, oh shit! Now they're catching us here. They're catching us here. Blown coverage play, big boom play. Cassius Marsh gets torched with his upside down crosses under his eyes, and that was it. Like that was it. That was the game.
Well, that was the thing that we've always said about Belichick, though, is like he's one of those guys that if he sees them, and that was the one thing I took away. I kept watching it and going, when is he going to walk over, fucking shove one of the coordinators out of the way and go, fucking get around here, listen to me, I'm doing this. He didn't do that. I think, like I said, it's week 1. I'm freaking out anyway. But I didn't get home till fucking 12:30, 1 o'clock.
That game was long.
That was really long.
So this is the other thing, though. So they gave up those 2 monster plays before halftime. There's 2 minutes on the clock. The Pats get a stop, call a timeout.
Yeah.
They go, we want the ball back.
Right.
They march down the field, Kansas City, and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
If that doesn't how often do you see New England get marched against in a 2-minute drill? It just doesn't happen very often. Right. And New England had planned to get the ball before the 2-minute drill and try and make something of it.
Right.
If that swing happens, if they pull up a stop,
right,
and they get the ball, I mean, it's probably game over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's 3 defensive plays, 3 defensive possessions that you can focus in on. Where if shit goes the opposite way, this game's completely different. That's the 2-minute drill before halftime, the Tyreek Hill play, which is comes right out of halftime. Right. Right? That was their second possession or something like that.
Probably something like that. Yeah.
In the third quarter, they throw that huge touchdown pass.
Yeah.
And the Kareem Hunt pass.
That was the Tyreek Hill where peace sign up.
You're not catching him. Yeah. Did you know he finished 6th in the...
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was sarcasm because they told me 10 different times while I was watching.
They did have the rocket scientist drop.
Yeah. So if you take away those 3 different... there's 3 things you can point at on defense where the game is completely different.
Right.
The only thing that I also took away from it is all right, so I'm making fun of McDaniel's for his play calling, but at least he made those fourth down, they don't get the fucking first down. Right. They give him back the ball at the 10. You gave up 2 or 3 90-yard drives to Alex Smith
in the first half.
To Alex Smith, man.
That's real bad.
That's insane.
Right.
That was the big headache for me. Was watching it going, I hate McDaniels, but he's right. Give him go ahead, Alex Smith, 90 yards. Good luck.
The thing is, what did Alex Smith finish at?
350.
No, what did he pass attempts wise? It was 20.
Oh, it was 28 for 35.
That's not. At one point, he was 20 of 21.
Yeah,
or something like
that. It was
that.
insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
You weren't getting any pass rush.
Right. He was.
They sacked him 3 times.
Yeah, they did, but a lot of those were
I want to say those
coverage sacks.
Those were later in the game, so he did start to put some pressure on him, but it was
they sacked him 3 times. The Kansas City defense, which is known for getting sacks, sacked Brady 3 times. 3 times, and they didn't sack Brady until the 4th quarter.
Right. That's true.
Granted, I think a lot of that had to do with scheme. Some of it, because they were rushing 3 a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Which is. Listen, the Pats have a kryptonite. The kryptonite is if you can rush 3
and get through.
And the thing is, they weren't even getting through. But the thing is, if you can rush 3 and drop 8 into coverage and cover, the Patriots have trouble.
Right.
Especially if you can have one corner take away a receiver, one safety take away your best weapon.
Right. You still have 5-6 guys left. And then you double team the other wideout.
You still have, if you drop in 3, if you're only rushing 3, you have 7 guys left.
If you rush in 3, you have 8 guys left. One of them's Barry, one of them's Peters.
So
and
you have
6 guys.
Yeah,
then you
6
double
guys.
the other one, and you still have 4 guys to take out the middle of the field. That's what I was saying.
Then Brady. That's why
Where do you
Brady was
go?
sitting back there. I was like, someone has to be open.
Right.
But he would throw the ball and the guy's covered.
What was it? One of the plays where they were down in, I want to say, the red zone or something like that.
And, like 25 seconds.
Oh, what was it? Yeah. And then what was the one play where he tried to throw?
Where he went past the line of scrimmage and threw it.
Yeah, there was that one, but there was another one where he threw it to the left of the field, like or a little bit over to the right. And freaking on the right side of the field, you have Burkhead one-on-one with a fucking linebacker, and he didn't even look that way.
Yeah, but they tried that too. They had they did a motion thing, and they got a linebacker and a running back on the outside.
Yep.
I can't remember who it was, what play it was, but he tried to throw it, and the linebacker made a play on it.
And it's another thing. We're talking about the matchups. Peters is filthy. He can one-on-one cover Chris Hogan.
Yeah, he's a shutdown corner.
Barry's filthy. He can take Gronk out. Jordan Houston, Ford, Derek Johnson. Those 3 guys can cover running backs.
Yeah, they have great. They have the we're bitching about the linebacking core of the Patriots.
Right. Give me Ford.
I was saying KC's linebacking core is filthy.
The Patriots are looking for certain matchups, and they didn't get the matchups they wanted a lot of the time because a lot of those guys were double covered. So KC was moving their defense towards. They were playing to their strengths with Eric Berry and Marcus Peters, and they were moving the rest of their defense to help their weakness, which is those other 2 corners.
Right.
So you have your other safety over the top of one, and anytime Brady got one of those 2 corners by themselves on a guy, that's when he had his completions.
Right.
How many times has Andy Reid been to the Super Bowl?
Once. No. Once
against
the
right?
Pats.
Yep. I was just going to say, does he get little satisfaction?
He might have gone another time, but I know of one.
Does he get a little bit of satisfaction going I can smoke you in the regular season.
Right. That's it.
I got you in the regular season.
He shouldn't get any.
Right. No, I know, but I'm just saying, but that, he has to sit there and go, when Belichick doesn't
he's 2-1 in the regular season, so it's,
yeah. Well, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Well, that's the stat I heard. That's the stat I heard. He's 2-1 in the regular season against the Pats.
Yeah.
Both his wins have been early in the first 4 games.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was week 4
and then
last
week
time,
1.
and then week 1, and then they beat him the week that Brady got hurt. The Patriots won that game,
which was the opener. Yeah,
the opener. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into some of the other games this week.
After we talked about that long term,
beat this one to
football heavy episode.
To me, all you got to do is make a decision. That's it.
Take a look inside my crystal ball.
All right, there we go. Let's do it. This is our first session of NFL predictions. So, what do you want to do first? You want to go through the week coming up first?
Yeah.
Rattle off win-loss, whatever.
Yeah, so you guys want to do this weekly or?
We'll do it weekly, yeah.
The weekly pick'ems?
Yeah, we'll keep a record of how everyone does, of the pick'ems.
So should we put something on this? Who wins? Whoever wins, what do they get? The normal beer bet, or do you want?
We could do a beer bet. We could do a
burger bet, steak dinner,
pizza,
large pizza from down the road.
The other 2 guys.
I was going to say
the other 2 guys got to buy pizza.
Man, I feel like I feel like I have luck with it. I'm going to go with brunch.
Brunch. Okay.
Brunch at Fat Boys. I feel like that's.
How about this? We'll
bet.
all have a separate win thing. So if Aaron wins, he wants brunch at Fat Boys.
Right.
If you win,
I want you guys to buy me a large pizza from Uno. I'm not sharing it with you. From the Plum Tomato, whatever it is.
If I win, I want a Salem Prime Cuts grinder.
Okay.
The large turkey extra bacon with bacon on it.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's a pretty equal value bet too. So I like that. That's good. You ready to go?
Oh, I'm always ready.
All right. Who wins the Chiefs or Patriots game?
All right, we're not counting.
We all lost that.
I'm gonna say,
We all lost that pick.
I'm going to go with Chiefs. All right, so in the worst game of the week, Jets-Bills.
Bills win.
Bills win.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna go with Bills, right?
I'm saying Bills.
Yeah, everybody's going Bills.
Yeah, three.
I don't think the Jets are going to win a game this year.
Three for Bills. Yeah, in the same way.
Yeah.
Three for Bills. Yeah, in the same way.
All right. So what do we got next? We got
Jags, Texans.
Nice. We said that in sync. So, Jaguars, Texans. Aaron, who do you think wins that game?
I'm going Jags.
Texans.
Jags, Texans. God, that's going to be such a fucking defensive battle. I'm going Texans, unproven Jags defense.
I like it.
Their quarterback worries me. That's the only reason why I didn't pick the Texans.
Yeah, Jags quarterback doesn't worry me at all.
I just think they have the running back to like open that up for them.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. So the Steelers versus the Browns.
Steelers, Browns.
It's going to be a bloodbath right there.
An odd part of me wants to call Browns win.
Steelers.
But I'm taking the Steelers.
You put Steelers down for me.
Just let the record state that I do want them. I would not be surprised if the Browns won that game.
Pro tip, if you have Le'Veon Bell, you should probably start him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, what's his name's not playing, right? He's out. Their number one pick, Browns.
Oh,
He's
Garrett.
out for a couple weeks,
Miles
right?
Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
He got hurt again.
Even if he played.
We're all going to Steelers, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's a good call.
If Garrett was in there,
I feel something
like,
about that.
Yeah, I feel like I would want to pick him just for the sake of saying I did.
I would gladly let you pick them.
Who's
Lions,
next?
Cards.
In Detroit,
It's
at Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
I'm going to do Arizona.
I am going to go Arizona Cardinals as well.
I'm going Lions. Just be the odd man out.
All right, yep. Try to get a point. I get
Yeah.
you. I'm with you.
Steal one.
What do we got next?
Falcons, Bears.
Falcons.
Falcons. Yeah, the Bears are really bad.
Yep. No argument there. Falcons.
The next one is the Raiders and the Titans. Does that say Titans?
Yes.
Raiders, Titans.
Raiders, Titans.
This is the best matchup that we've.
Do you know where?
It's at Tennessee.
It's in Tennessee.
I'm going with the home team.
Tennessee for the win, huh? I'm going Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders.
I'll go Tennessee.
All right. Ravens, Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bengals, but... Joe?
This hurts me because I have Andy Dalton. I'm going to go Ravens.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bengals. Sorry, Joe.
It's all right. I hope
Chance for you to get a point.
I hope the Bengals win because I have Andy Dalton as my quarterback. And
Eagles, Redskins. I'm going Redskins.
Yeah, same here.
I'm going Eagles.
All right. Carson Wentz guy?
I just don't think the Redskins are very good.
Yeah.
I
think
they
the Eagles defense is not good.
I think the Eagles defense is very good.
Eagles defense?
Yes.
We'll see. I think the Redskins offense is a lot better.
Remember they have Ronald Darby now. The
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Colts versus the Rams. I'm going.
That's the Rams.
They're at the Rams
Yeah.
too.
I'm going to go Rams.
Yeah,
but
There's no Andrew Luck.
Right. God, that's going to be an awful
If Andrew
game.
Luck was there, it would be such an easy pick. But
Right.
Okay, Panthers, 49ers. I'm going Panthers.
yeah, it's Panthers.
Even though they're
Yeah.
at the 49ers, but
Yeah. The 49ers may win 4 games this year.
this could be one of them.
Yeah.
Seahawks, Packers.
It's
In
at,
Green-
it's at Green Bay.
In Green Bay.
I'm going to say Green Bay.
I'm going Seahawks.
Me too.
All right. Chance for me to get a point. All right. I like it.
Giants versus the Cowboys.
Giants.
This is in Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go Giants, too.
All right, I'm going Cowboys. I think if what's-his-name plays...
Zeke is definitely playing.
So, I think Cowboys.
Dak Prescott is 0-2 against the Giants.
Des Bryant gets shut the fuck down every time they play. It's my
Giants.
logic.
So I'm going with some play action, maybe?
The only thing is, Odell might not play.
Yeah, that is
No,
true.
he's already marked as questionable or likely to play. Or
Probable.
Probable.
But how healthy is he?
Right.
I mean, he'll play. I don't think he's going to be
Marshall,
that great.
Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard's good.
Tight end, too.
Saints, Vikings.
I'm going to go...
This is in Minnesota.
Yep.
So Drew Brees on the road.
But it's still a dome.
Yeah.
But his home road splits are still awful. I'm going to go Minnesota.
Minnesota's defense is really good.
Against the pass, which is what?
Yeah. I don't know. Go ahead. If you got it, go ahead.
I'm going to go...
Minnesota.
Because I want to... I just feel like Peterson could have a game just because he's playing the Vikings.
I think I'm going to go Saints, yeah.
It's tough.
It's interesting stat about the Vikings I heard the other day.
Yeah, I'm going to go... son of a bitch, I'm going Vikings.
They gave up 9 rushing touchdowns the entirety of last year.
Wow. That's good.
But now they have Adrian Peterson.
No, they
The
gave
Saints
up.
have Adrian
That's
Peterson.
what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, well, the Vikings gave up 9 all year last year, so they
But
played.
they didn't have to play AP.
No one did.
You want to know what the people? You want to know what the people who played AP did? They held them to 3 yards a carry.
Right. We'll see what happens there.
And then what's this, the Monday night game?
Yeah, that's both of those are Monday
Both of
night.
those.
Oh, both of them are Monday? And then Chargers, Broncos.
Denver.
At Broncos.
Denver wins.
I would take it San Diego.
Wow. Okay.
I think the Broncos. Hot take alert.
Uh-oh.
Broncos defense not very good this year.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think it's going to be bad,
I don't think it's gonna be bad.
but I don't think it's going to be
I
as
think
good as it has been.
a lot of people are downplaying the loss of Wade Phillips as defensive coordinator. That is huge.
Take that for data.
There's not a lot of data in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos.
Yes, please. So I can get a point.
All right. There you go. Not bad.
Are you sick and tired of being the laughingstock of your fantasy football league? Do you need help knowing who to start and who to sit? Do you need help picking people up off the waiver wire who can mean anything to your team? Well, if you do, listen to Joe's Fantasy Field Goal every Tuesday and come in first place in your fantasy league. Guaranteed.
There we go. I think now we're going to do the division winners, right?
Yes.
Are we going to do just I name my 8, or do you want to go division by division?
We'll go
Let's go
division.
division by division.
Division by
All right,
division.
So let's go AFC East. Start it up.
AFC East, who you got?
The
New York Jets.
No.
Write it down.
New England
so-
Patriots.
That's Ben Field Goal talking right there. New York Jets.
Okay.
Well,
AFC
I
North.
did not say the Patriots.
I know you said the Jets. I wrote it down. Don't worry.
Yeah.
The AFC North. I obviously picked the Patriots just to clarify. AFC North. I'm going with the Steelers.
Hey, what do you have for a record for the Pads? Let's do some
After
numbers.
week 1,
Yeah.
13-3.
I went 12-4.
I had a 14-2 prediction for the season, but losing one this early doesn't make sense to me, so I think I'm going to go 13-3 also.
I had a 15-1 prediction
I
for
had-
this season.
Yeah.
Okay, AFC North. I go Steelers 11-5.
I like that. I'll probably take that same thing.
I'm going to go Steelers 12-4. Also, the Bengals make the playoffs.
Yet they lose week 1?
Yes.
Okay. What the record's
AFC South. I picked the Titans 10-6.
It's going to be an interesting race between Houston and Tennessee.
I'm going Titans. What'd you say? 10-6?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 11-5.
Say Texans go 10-6.
Texans go 10-6, huh? What did they go last year? 9-7?
They won the division.
I think at 9-7 though.
Yeah, maybe.
AFC West. I got the Raiders at 13-3.
I like that one too. Yeah, 13-3. I'll take that same thing.
I'm gonna go the Raiders at 11-5, and the Chiefs the Chiefs are gonna make the playoffs too.
Without Eric Berry now?
Yes.
Okay. Duly noted.
AFC East. NFC East. Sorry.
NFCs.
I went Cowboys 11-5.
I'm going Giants 10-6.
Oh man.
Giants 10-6 gets it done.
I go Cowboys 10-6. Tied with the Giants. But they'll have a tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
NFC North. I go Packers 12-4.
You got Packers 13-3.
Packers 11-5.
Not a lot of big winners for you, huh?
No.
He's like, just wait till I get to my NFC West.
Yeah, it might be actually.
NFC South. I get the Falcons 14-2.
14-2, huh? There's no decline for you after that.
No, I think they got Poe. I think they offensively another year together.
I have Buccaneers 11-5.
Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna go New Orleans Saints.
Oh wow. All right.
11-5.
Okay, NFC West.
Seahawks 12-4. What do you have?
I have the Seahawks at 11-5.
I'm going Seahawks 13-3.
There you go. What did you have for the Saints? 11-5.
11-5.
So there's only one team that wins 13 games.
2. Seahawks and Pats.
Seahawks, Pats. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Nice.
I only have one.
I like it.
Well, two. Sorry,
You
two.
have 14-2.
Yeah, 14-2 for Falcons, and I have 13-3 for the Raiders.
I have 3. I have Packers with 13, Raiders with 13, Patriots
Now,
with 13.
I think we already did this, a Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, sure. We can finalize it now that.
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, we can do that. To wrap up the rap session, too, real quick, I'm not saying that I think the Patriots are going to be bad. I just think that their talent level is thin, really thin. I think what you saw is a chemistry issue. I agree with you there. And I just don't think they're that talented either. I don't think they're, like I said to Dave Speaks, I feel down on their talent level compared to how I did in the offseason. So with that, I'm going to say Pats. Bucks.
Pats, Bucks.
Yeah. Bucks riding a Cinderella story this year.
NFC, think about that then.
The Packers never.
If the Pats do play the Bucks, that would mean the NFC South has had the last 3 Super Bowl contenders.
It's true. All different teams.
All different teams, all lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to pick the Pats to win?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And the Pats will win that game 27-23.
A close game again.
Yeah. Super Bowls normally are. Especially with the Patriots.
I'm going to go what almost was last year, Patriots-Packers.
See, I want to say that, but I just feel like we're never going to get the matchup. We're never going to get the Rodgers-Brady.
Patriots-Packers, and this is the first time Brady ever wins a Super Bowl handily.
Mm-hmm.
They win 38-21. Pats.
I like that call a lot, but I just don't feel like it'll ever happen.
It might not. Oh, it almost happened.
Right.
They got blown. I mean, they got blown out.
Right. That's the one thing I want to see. Kind of.
I think the Packers can beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks, I think, are going to be really tough this year. And they were almost my pick, but
wow, I don't like this. Oh, for a second, I thought you wrote Patriots on the other side. I was like, AFC Championship?
I'm going to go Raiders versus the Packers.
See, I just think the Raiders team is super overrated this year. You think Marshawn Lynch makes that big of a difference?
I just think they have a healthy
Derek Carr.
I think healthy Derek Carr.
You think the Raiders would have beat the Patriots last year?
I think it would have been whoever has the ball at the last play of the game.
Here's what would have happened.
I don't.
If Derek Carr didn't get hurt, the Raiders would have had the home field.
That's what I mean. I think that's what's the real issue.
I don't think that would have mattered either.
I don't know if it would have, but I think that does change things a little bit. And now you add Marshawn Lynch into that. Who knows?
And I think the Packers are going to win 28-17.
God, you didn't even give the Raiders a championship before they leave, huh? Such a dick move.
You get them there and then fail.
Yeah.
right at the finish line.
I mean, last time they went to one, they lost.
That's a good point.
They were the first team that I think they went like every decade with a championship.
Did I pick the Raiders for the AFC West?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, the Chiefs make the playoffs. Is what I
Chiefs
said.
make the playoffs, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
I wrote it all down. It is in ink.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a book.
Real quick, and not to press on a hot button issue too much, but the Michael Bennett story from Vegas just rubs me the wrong way. Real bad. That cops show up after a Chris Brown concert, supposedly shooting. People thought they heard gunshots.
They got calls for active shooter.
Yeah, calls for active shooter and stuff, right.
There was no shooter?
I guess
No,
not.
it was determined there were no.
Yeah, there were no.
There were no
gunshots.
gunshots.
But do the police have, like, they save all those, like, 911 calls, like, hey, you know.
Right.
So they must have calls in their logs, like 911 Chris Brown
people were like
shooter.
freaking out, right?
Yeah.
They thought that it was a gun. Yeah, they thought there was gunshots. So like, there's a bunch of crowds fleeing this area, whatever. So the cops come in hot. Michael Bennett, for some reason, is hiding behind a slot machine, and when him and the
not for some reason. If you think there's an active shooter,
right, well, yeah, of course, right,
you're gonna duck.
Yeah, you're gonna duck, right. So as soon as he makes eye contact with one of the police officers, he gets up and runs out of the building. Not only out of the building, jumps over a wall, runs through street traffic, and then finally gets caught up with.
Oh wait, so he is hiding behind the slot machine.
Yeah, cop sees him, like comes from some angle. They lock eyes.
Yeah.
Gets up and runs.
All right. Well, so now you look suspicious.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So especially in an active shooter situation.
Like I understand why you would run in an active shooter situation. I don't understand why you would hide, then see a cop, and then run.
And then run. Right.
But that's whose story?
That's the cop's story.
Is that Michael Bennett's story? What's Michael Bennett's story?
There's the video camera from Vegas story.
Oh, it shows him hiding. Does it show him see the cop?
I guess I don't know. I haven't seen the actual video or at least that part of it where they lock eyes.
Yeah.
But you see him just get up and then run, and then
Right.
the cops start charging him.
He started posting about it on Twitter, and he basically, the only thing that's kind of what he will say is like, yeah, I got tackled by a cop. Mm-hmm. He put a gun to the back of my head and told me he's going to blow my fucking brains out.
Yeah.
And was detained for extended period of time, and then once it was determined he was not a suspect, he was released.
Mm-hmm. And him and Martellus Bennett was on TV crying about the story about how this is just a shame, this is the country we live in, a lot of race connotations in that. And to me,
was he a white cop?
He was a Puerto Rican cop, I believe, or I don't know if he was Puerto Rican, but he was some sort of like Latin.
He was of Spanish descent.
Yeah,
so Latin American
cop. So that means that's the country we live in, where all whites want to.
I don't think it has to do with race
or cops.
I think it has to do with cops as the one side, and then so it's race being
right.
black,
blues versus blacks. Really, basically, is kind of like the.
I can get my head around that.
So then. The thing I don't like about, like, even now, like, Bennett's lawyers came out and said he was not racially profiled because everyone was leaving a Chris Brown concert, and in breaking news, Chris Brown has a lot of African-American fans. So the people fleeing the scene were a lot of African-Americans. It's a mixed bag of race there. Anyone could have gotten picked out and said, oh, I was picked because of my race, because there were so many different races
He's also an extremely large man.
Right.
I think that probably has something to do with it.
6'5", 300 pounds.
You're going to catch my eyes if I
think-
see you running.
I think part of this is the thing is a lot of people who have a problem with the police look at it very. I guess it's on either side of the argument. Look at things very one-sided.
Yeah.
Even if a cop pinned you on the ground, put his knee in your back, and he put his gun. He had his gun out,
Yeah.
and he said, "If you move, I'm going to shoot you, or I'm going to blow your whatever."
Brains out, right? Yeah.
Maybe you have to remember they're responding to what they think is an active shooter.
Right.
That
You
means
got to have the perspective of the whole situation.
they think someone in there has a gun and is shooting at people.
right.
They
There's
are a
murderer
person.
almost, right.
They are not trying to get killed. So if they think that you, for some reason, if you did some kind of action, I'm not saying he did for sure, I'm just saying if for some reason a cop thought that you might be the active shooter,
Yeah.
if you even move a little bit and he thinks you have a gun on you,
Right.
of course he's going to be like threatening with his gun, like don't move.
Right. The situation was
Like this is for
aggressive
this
both
is for
sides.
your own good that you don't move.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And
No,
it's just to me.
But I
it's-
don't know the facts, so maybe Martellus Bennett is telling the truth that the guy, like saying if you move, I'm going to blow your fucking brains out, is a little excessive.
Right. But I think if I
But
was
you
a
have to
police
remember,
officer and
he's
I walk
responding
into the
to-
situation
yeah.
and it's hey stop, and then if you make me run you down and catch you, yeah, I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out if you do it, because at this point I think you're the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I need to get home today too. Like so, if you seem like the one that's going to threaten my life right now,
And he's
because you
probably
made
easy
yourself
to
suspect.
pick out
Right.
because he's gigantic.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
so the profile, I think, has more to do with the man's stature than it does with the man's color, considering that there was a ton of other colored or men of similar color next to him, by him, in the crowd running around. It wasn't just, oh, I'm going to pick a black guy, or I'm going to pick the biggest, largest black guy. I think it was just, why is this giant running away from me now? You know what I mean? Like, and that's, to me, that's kind of more how it feels. But
Well, the other thing is the big thing to take away from it is, and especially with like cameras and everything there, if a cop sees you and you're standing there and you're not doing anything, you are legitimately doing nothing, and you're hiding, and a cop sees you and the cop tells you, okay, you're clear, go ahead, like
Right,
go
get
out
outta here,
this
right,
this is
right.
the exit I want you to take, that's where they're you can go out this way.
right,
Cops usually clear an area and then they release people. They don't just come over to you and go, okay, get out of here.
right,
Because you could run out, another cop could be waiting, see somebody running.
right. Of course, yeah, right.
The whole thing is you decided to run. What that tells me is if a cop, if you see, I get it if you have already an issue with cops, but
Which Michael Bennett does. He's a big.
Do you think this
pro
could-
Kaepernick?
yeah, I
You
know.
don't believe it, yeah.
Do you think this could be a man who didn't do anything wrong, being detained by police in what he deems as an aggressive manner, being annoyed with the fact that it even happened, and then coming out with the story? Like, if it was, he probably expected the cop to know, oh, that's Michael
Michael
Bennett.
Bennett, right.
Obviously, he's not the one shooting in the club.
I'm a Pats fan. I'm a New England. I mean, like I'm a sports fan. If I saw Michael Bennett, I've met Vinny Baker.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck you look like. Really,
I-
you wear a helmet.
I think
dude.
I would know it's Michael Bennett. I might not know it in a club in the dark.
Right.
or running away from you.
Yeah, running
Right.
away.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think what I'm saying is once he's down on the ground,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I'm Michael Bennett. I'm Michael Bennett. Like
Right.
I play for the. It's not me. Like."
Yeah.
And they still detain him. That he might be like, man, fuck this shit. This is, and then now you
also,
look.
how
Now
many-
you're looking back at the situation because you're annoyed
Right.
differently than with a different view on it.
Okay,
so
but-
like
but with
the
that
guy holding
perspective-
him down on the ground with his knee in his back is like, "Don't move or I'll shoot you." Turns into, "Don't move or I'll blow your fucking brains out."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And also with that, how many NFL players are linked to gun-related
Well,
situations?
I was just about to say that. You say that, but then you have the guy that was from Kansas City that went and Didn't he kill his wife?
Yeah.
Or his
Oh, yeah,
girlfriend?
yeah.
And then shot himself. And I'm not saying
but,
Michael Bennett's
there-
not that. He's not crazy. He's not going to go kill people.
But Michael Bennett might be hanging out with Adam Jones. You know
My
what I mean?
point is,
Yeah, but the
No,
thing-
I'm agreeing with
Yeah.
you.
There are a lot of NFL players with gun-related situations. A lot of them aren't shooting a club up. A lot of them are, I have a gun on me and I get caught.
Yeah,
like
you
I
got
get
pulled over.
or something.
Right.
don't just. You are a public figure. You don't need to run from the cops.
But I want to make sure we state that like he could be right.
Oh no,
He
that's
could be right.
fucking
He could be
insane.
right.
If it's true, everything
Yeah.
that he said,
Right.
and that's the other sidebar of that is it's Vegas. There's cameras everywhere in Vegas. They're going to be able to piece this whole fucking thing together. Right. And if he's telling the truth, this cop will spend so many fucking years in prison.
I don't think that's true.
I think he will.
If he's telling the truth,
If
he might get
Bennett's,
fired.
No, I think the
It's
way
not, I don't think what the cop did was illegal. And a lot of times you can justify.
Yeah, but the way the climate is now in America, you cannot be putting a fucking gun to somebody's head and telling them you're going to
the
kill
way it
them.
is now, you can shoot them and not go to jail.
Or lose your job. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's
what
why
they're
people
pissed
are
off
like,
But
about.
I think the fact
I don't think he'll go to jail. He might lose his job.
But see, that's the point. Is what I'm trying to make is that he is Michael Bennett. He is not going to let that
It's
go.
a high level celebrity as opposed to
Which is why I think he would lose his job. I don't know if he'll ever spend a day in jail.
I think he will.
Because to me, the Las Vegas police will be like, listen, there was supposedly an active shooter.
Yeah, I don't know what judge
He
could say
did
committed
everything.
a crime.
He did everything by the textbook other than saying, I'll blow your fucking brains out. That's the only thing he did that was like, and that's telling someone, I'll blow your fucking brains out if you move
Is not much different
against
than,
the law.
hey, don't move or I'll shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, technically,
like, it's not the same.
but technically, saying something like that to somebody, if you just tell the guy, "Hey, don't move or I will shoot you,"
That's issuing a command. Same with,
That's-
if you move, I'll blow your fucking brains
But
out.
see, that's the point. Is people are going to hear, "I'm blowing your fucking brains out," not, "Hey, I'm going to incapacitate you."
Yeah, but it's just a colorful way of issuing a command. Like,
It is,
don't
but
move or
it's
I'll...
unprofessional.
that's the
but-
point.
And unprofessional gets you fired. It doesn't get you put in
Yeah,
jail.
It also means the guy that you told you're going to kill is a multimillionaire.
Yeah, but I just don't think he'll spend... If
I
he
do
did-
agree with Joe on
If
this. I
he
don't
does
think
go
he
to
would.
jail, it would be for
Yeah, it's not going to be
maybe days.
No, I don't think that.
It would
I think,
definitely not be years.
I think
There's
it'd
no
be-
crime.
I think
Yeah, what would he be tried on?
that's the point. Is I'm talking about if Michael's
Excessive
correct.
force?
If Michael's correct, this guy profiled him.
Right.
Like if you look through the guy, I'm
Yeah, but
talking
even
about,
Michael's lawyer came out and said he didn't profile him.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's saying he didn't profile him based upon the show he was at. If you find out later on that this guy's just
He knew it was Michael Bennett?
well, that too. Like you find out that he's a freaking
Packers fan?
Yeah, or he's a Niners fan. Like,
Yeah.
hey, there's Michael Bennett. I'm going to take him out this season. I'm going
Maybe
to really
he's
fuck with his mind.
Arizona's pretty close to Las Vegas. Maybe he's a Cardinals fan.
Could be.
But that's my point. Like, if it's proven that this guy just fucking went nuts and he was screaming at him, telling him he was going to kill him, and then once he put the gun to his head, he told him he was going to blow his
Well, the
fucking
fact is
brains
that
out.
he ran away from him.
That's yes. You
And
don't
that's-
run from the cops.
Right. That's the
Like,
issue.
especially if you know you're not doing anything wrong. You're that big. You are a high profile human being.
Right.
Dude, you were already hiding. Once a cop comes up to you and goes, "What are you doing?" You'd be like, "I heard there was a shooter in the building. I'm just, I'm Michael Bennett. I'm just trying to hide."
See, for me, I think if Michael Bennett wanted to turn this into a race bait story, right, and he may feel like it is a race bait, so I'm not taking away the credibility of how he feels about what happened, but he should have said, if he wanted to get sympathy from people for this, he should have said, "I was at an active shooter situation potentially, and I saw a cop, and I was more scared of what he was going to do seeing me there that I felt I had to run from the cop." You know what I mean? Because I was more scared he was going to assume I was affiliated. I didn't know with the way the black people are getting shot left and right in America, what was my situation. My best opportunity was to get out of there, or whatever. And I stupid and I selfishly ran because I was more scared of what the cop may do to me legally, you know what I mean? Because they have so much more power than what an active shooter may have done. If he said that, a lot of people are like, "You're an idiot, you shouldn't have ran." He said, I know, I made the mistake. But he could have sent the message that I have more fear of what the cops bring to the African Americans than
the
than what
lawyer that
shooters
he
may.
hired is a lawyer that deals with a lot of race related issues. that might come out, Dave. Like, that might be the plan down the road. Hey, we want this guy to go to jail. We want this guy to, like, throw the book at him.
I think you can't completely discredit Michael Bennett's story, because why? Why would he do this?
Well, I think because he ran.
No, but I'm saying, but why? Why would he come up with this crazy story?
No, it happened.
I know, but why?
Like everyone's saying nothing's made up.
Yeah, that's
about
what I'm
it.
saying. But
Both
no, I'm
sides
talking
are-
about
Well,
all the facts in Michael Bennett's story.
The fact that he said he was going to blow his fucking brains out.
Why make all that up?
I don't know if that's been denied.
They've basically just said that there's video of him being detained,
and that the gun isn't directly pointed at his head.
The gun is drawn, but he is not being told that they're going to blow his fucking brains out.
Yeah,
but the cop that also detained him didn't have his camera on, so we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what that situation is either. Which, I mean, that's dumb.
That could be something
really dumb too.
down the road too.
Right. I don't think anything was made up except for was the gun pressed against his temple or not. I believe that the cop said it. I don't care that the cop said it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, why would he make up that fact? Why?
It was pressed against his head?
Yeah. Why would he make up the gun was pressed against my head?
If they had a gun drawn and pointed at his head, would you say they had a gun to my head or they had a gun pointed at my head? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an easily construed thing. You know what I mean? Like, if someone was like this at my head or whatever,
the thing is,
but not pressed to my head, I would still think they had a gun to my head.
How does Michael Bennett know that his gun was at his head?
If it was behind him.
If he's laying on the ground on his stomach with a knee in his back, how do you know the gun's
I
pointed at your head? It's just not pointed at you.
Well,
in general.
when I read read what he said, I instantly was like, "Oh, he had the gun to the back of his, pressed to the back of his head."
Yeah,
like that's the way.
Oh, I envisioned
heard
it like knee on the back, gun not touching his body at all, but pointed at him.
Right.
But see, that's the point. It can be. I read the same article. Right. It's just a different view upon what your mind.
But did he
takes
say
it.
pressed to my head? Did he say the gun was pressed to him, or he had a gun pointed at me?
Pretty sure. No, he said he had a gun to my head, to the back of my head.
So that's, I mean, like,
It
to
could
my
be.
head.
Is it pressed or is it?
It's really either way.
For him to be on his stomach and say he had a gun to the back of my head would almost imply that the gun would need to be pressed to the back of his head, or else how would he know?
Either way, it's a detail that I don't think matters because I think it's still true. I think they did point a gun at him, whether it's at his head or whether it was to his head, at his head, pressed on his head.
Is
whatever.
that just being safe until you assess the situation?
I think, to be honest
as
with
a
you,
cop, I'm saying,
if you put a gun to something, like, I get it, like, it's still I try to, like, view it from both sides, but if as a person looking at it from, like, the public view, he used excessive force. That's the public view. Mm-hmm. No matter how this shakes out, he used excessive force because he's Michael Bennett.
Right. I just don't. I agree that that's the general consensus. I just don't agree.
If I'm going to go one way or the other, I don't know what to think because I don't know all the truths.
Right.
But if Michael Bennett's correct in what happened, like, throw the book at the kid.
Right.
If it's false and there's video and there's a little bit of audio inside in the casino says Michael just said fuck it and ran.
Right.
And the cop says, "Hey, where are you going? Hey, why are you?
Hey,
stop! Hey, stop!" And then he just keeps running. You know, police, stop! Police, freeze! Police, I will shoot you! And he keeps running. God bless him that he didn't get shot.
I would imagine. I mean, I guess I'm just adding it, but I would imagine the cop probably said, "Hey, stop!"
Stop. Oh yeah, right.
I'm going to shoot.
That's
Las Vegas police freeze or
the
whatever.
report from the police. You know, the chief of police was that it was. He got up. Hey, stay there. He ran. Stop. Goes out of the building. Hey, sir, stop. Or whatever. Jumps over a wall. Hey, sir, stop. Or whatever. Like, they told him repeatedly, like, stop. So now they're in pursuit of possibly a runaway suspect. You know what I mean? To me, if Bennett ran and there's video of him running, you can't throw the book at him because you ran away from a crime scene and made yourself look suspicious. You've given reasonable doubt to your innocence at that point.
Like, I could understand running out of the club where you think there's an active shooter and then stopping.
Right.
But to run me, and then jump a wall.
If I'm crouched behind a slot machine and I see a cop, I would just lay down at my stomach and put my hands out. And then just like, hey, I got nothing.
Or put them up in the air.
Or up in the air or something. Yeah, but I would just like, they tell you, put your hands out, whatever, just lay down. I would have just laid down. Because I have a cop there to potentially protect me from whatever the situation is. And if I don't want to get, this doesn't have to go bad. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just going to, I'm going to submit myself here. He can tell me, okay, hey, you're good to go. You're all set. You know, whatever.
Well, like what they're going to say is, and this is the way probably his defense attorney or whomever, not his defense attorney, his attorney that he hired, is going to say, oh, well, Michael grew up with this kind of police officers and he grew up in Texas and he dealt with this and he dealt with that.
That's the play.
That's the play.
That's the play.
And what's sad about it is the cop could have done everything by the book and Michael still ran. Mm-hmm. And it could have been the exact opposite. The cop could have been belligerent with him, could have told him, hey, you know, and why he was running could have, I mean, it hasn't been said, but could have used a racial slur and then this whole fucking thing changes.
Right.
But
if he said it to him first, like, hey, I'm going to blow your fucking brains out.
Yeah.
And then said that first. And then he ran.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
well, then he's lucky he didn't get shot.
Yeah, get shot at,
I think that's the other thing that I'm like amazed by.
Right.
You run from the cops and they already have and they're on an active shooter scenario.
Right.
I mean, I get it. You're running away from the scene, but an active shooter situation tends to be like they either stay to die or they try to sneak out with the public so they can't be shot.
Yeah.
So a cop's job is to take out the problem. If you take off running, like, come on.
Yeah, really.
And to be honest, like, you line up 5 average African-American people and you put Michael Bennett there and they're running.
Right.
That's the guy that's going to stand out to me.
Right,
He's fucking huge, man.
Huge.
He's a large, strong individual.
I always say, and this might be a part of this is on Bennett for running, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what the situation is, running will only make things worse.
Yeah.
Like you'll never increase the.
If you're not doing anything wrong, why did you run?
Why are you running? Right. But to me, he didn't get shot. And I don't think that any form of excessive force or brutality, if anything, is acceptable. Like, well, at least you didn't get shot. Like, I don't mean to say it like that, but I've always said that if you cooperate and the situation still gets ugly, continue to cooperate, because as soon as you start to not cooperate, now you lose your leverage. Because now they say, oh, he was resisting arrest, I had to use excessive force, I had to detain him, I had to whatever. So I say you just go with the flow, and then you can file your pursuit afterwards. Like there's due process for everybody. So then you can go, but as soon as you give the cop the leverage to be able to say, I had to slam him on the ground because he was acting up or whatever, just okay, put your hands on your head. Okay, all right, hey, come with me, get out of the car. Okay, all right, here you go, whatever. And then say, I want to file harassment or whatever.
Say
like he bothered me.
There's 2 scenarios that play through my head when I think of like what could have happened.
That may be white privilege seeping out.
Oh no, it is.
Like that
it probably is.
Yeah.
The big thing that like stands out to my mind is it almost makes me. What's that movie? Is it Traffic? The one with I want to say like the one cop's a racist cop, pulls him over, fondles up what's his name's wife in front of him, and then the next time he gets
the one
pulled.
with Ludacris in it. That's Traffic, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Crash.
Oh, that's
Crash. There it is. But then he later on in the movie, same guy that his wife got felt up. The cop shows up and like
she's terrified,
and he's freaking out. And then the other cop wants to shoot him. He goes, "No, I know this guy. I know why he's freaking out." Like you get that lucky to where a cop doesn't shoot you in a situation where there is already reported gunfire.
Right,
dude. Like once again, count your blessings because. Holy crap, especially if you're a guy that knows what happens with cops, you've had bad experiences with the cops, you should know enough, hey, we're in Vegas, there's cameras everywhere.
Right.
I'm rich enough, if I don't do anything,
right,
they can't do shit to me down the road.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, he's never going to want to go back to Vegas if I was him.
Yeah.
You're asking for it at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all for Balk Talk. The whole situation's ugly one way or the other.
Yeah, I feel... If it happened to him, like it went down the way he said,
right?
Shit,
yeah, that's fucked up.
That's fucked up. And that's another thing is, how do you react? How does your memory? How do you react to? All of a sudden, you're running from the cops, you're slammed to the ground, gun back of your head, and you're being told they're going to blow your fucking brains out. What do you do? Like some people, they like legitimately, like people pass out. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to do.
Right.
In that situation, you're running from possible gunfire. cop pulls a gun on you, you run, he tackles you, he puts the gun back. Like, you don't know.
What if he's saying, he's got his knee in his back, and he's like, sir, put your hands out, He's like, get the fuck off me. Sir, I'll blow your fucking brains out, or whatever. Just stop moving, or whatever. I don't know the little details of what was happening at the time, and I don't want to make excuses for bad behavior on one side or the other, but I think all those details are important. You know what I mean? So before people jump onto one side of fuck the cops in this situation, or who fucking cares, Martellus Brown's a liar, or whatever. Either way, it was an ugly situation in Vegas, and just don't be so quick to come to a brash decision.
The other question I have to ask about that is, why are you at a fucking Chris Brown concert?
Chris Brown's on the list.
Why?
Chris Brown is
that
on the
bag
list.
of dicks? Are you kidding me? What are you doing at his show?
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, me too.
So, I'm not mad at David Portnoy this week.
You have a shirt that's kind of like the same color as
the
Clownface shirt.
What was it, Operation Clownface?
Operation Clownface.
Operation Clownface was in full
Dave
effect.
Portnoy just had a great, minus the Pats losing.
Right.
Just Thursday night.
He had a great week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes on the Felger. Well, it's not Felger.
It's like the Comcast Sports.
Yeah, like the Comcast Sports and that thing.
Yeah.
He tells Felger he's going to put him in a fucking body bag on live television.
And that says, I don't apologize for anything.
I don't apologize, yeah.
I love that.
Well, that's because Felger apologized.
No, fuck Felger, too.
I don't like Felger.
He hates the Pats. He's not a Pats fan. I don't.
Exactly what Portnoy was
No,
saying,
he's a
Steelers fan, right?
No. He's a Packers fan. He's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that owns like stock in the Packers.
He's the owner.
He's a piece of shit.
Right.
Fuck Felger.
I almost bought stock in the Packers. Because
I want to buy stock in the Packers and then just make a bunch of really bad decisions.
Right.
Just keep voting everything down.
Well, because from what I've heard,
are they publicly traded?
It's a publicly owned.
Never make money off of
Yeah,
it.
it's publicly owned.
No, what I'm saying is there a chance that someone could go and buy majority shares of the Packers?
No.
It's released. It's like released in increments, like each year. So whenever someone sells some, you can't just buy it. Like
I think there's probably a limit to like what
someone,
percentage
so
you
someone can
own.
become a majority owner. You know what I mean? Like a hostile takeover of the Packers.
So
I
what's
was
his
just
name?
talking about
Can't do
doing
it.
that with a company, like where Justin and I were saying, like, what if we got like 4 or 5 people and we each bought like, okay, I get 2%, 2%, 2%, and then we get like 2% again, 2% again, and then like the 5 of us own like 51% together, and we're like, okay, we are a firm. We now own the majority of this company. Or they're like, well, how the hell did that happen? Like we thought we just shared like 10% to one guy, 10% to another guy, and out of nowhere now we're the 51%. So I will overtake a business one day like that. I don't know which one.
A hostile takeover.
Hostile takeover. It's going to happen. So be on the lookout. Your business is not safe. But yeah, David Portnoy had a monster week. He was just
Operation Clownface. So you saw the towels.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell clownface towels in the stands. There's 70,000 of them.
See, first of all, I want one. Second of all, I didn't see them that much.
I saw them.
But like I said,
I thought NBC was staying away from it.
When we were talking about it, I was like, yeah, but they're not going to want to show that.
I did see it, and there's some good pictures of like screen caps of the screen where you can see like a large majority of a whole section with the towels up.
Well, I guess, didn't they say that Olympia Sports contacted...
the NFL contacted Olympia Sports and said they weren't allowed to sell the clown nose.
Yeah, I was going to say, somebody reached out, and they were like...
Olympia Sports in Gillette?
The company.
Like the store.
Like the stores,
right.
period.
Yeah.
Like plural company.
Right.
Was told you are not allowed to carry these if you want to keep NFL merch in your stores.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, more like a power play there.
Right, yeah.
There's a picture online of when Roger Goodell's coming out of the tunnel when he's like announced at the Patriots game.
Yeah.
And the first 2 people like on the right against the tunnel are a husband and wife who both have the Goodell clown shirts on.
Yeah.
And they're staring at him and like yelling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I would have been like, Roger, I love you. So he'd look at me and they'd be like, you like my shirt?
Click. Picture.
That would have been it.
It would have been really funny if the entire Patriots coaching staff coached the game in the
In the shirts?
In the shirts. Like if Belichick took his hoodie off like halfway through and just had
The clown.
the clown shirt on underneath it. Like he starts a game and everyone thinks it's normal.
I think he could have won then. You could have distracted the other team. They'd have been like, the balls on that guy.
They would have got fined. That's like, you have to wear certain
He would have been
things on the
suspended.
sideline.
He would have been suspended.
Yeah, if they would have found a way to suspend him. That's true. Yeah. Another equipment
Well,
violation.
Patricia came off the plane with that shirt on.
But that was
breaking a rule.
technically not during an NFL sanctioned situation.
The season was over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the flight
But yeah,
home.
Portnoy had a great fucking
He
Thursday.
had a great week.
He had a great.
I love the. That's why
I'll
I have
put
to
you
come
in
here
a
and put you in a
fucking
fucking
body.
body bag.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, he had a monster week.
So when
And then
I'm-
what was the Kobe Kai?
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai,
He was
yeah,
talking to Butch Stearns in an interview just about the towels and stuff like that, and he dropped it like bury your enemies or something like that. Cobra
Make
Kai
him suffer.
reference.
Yeah. So
Make him suffer, yeah.
Make him suffer, yeah. And I like how afterwards he said, "What a waste of a Cobra Kai."
What a
reference.
waste of a great Cobra Kai reference.
So yeah, that's that.
El Prez.
Let's wrap the show up. Before we go into closing time, let's stop for clothing time. Go to facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. That's the letters NE Weather Clothing Co. Or you can go to anyweatherclothingco.com. Check out the Facebook store, facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. Go in the shop. You can find exclusive BS Nerds merchandise there, a hat and a t-shirt as of right now, with much more to come. Also, check out the other clothes he has. He also has a retro throwback shirt. He's got something for Foxwoods now, and he also has his own brand going. Go to anyweatherclothingco.com or facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco and use the exclusive BS Nerds discount code, which is the letters B.S.N. ERDS and then the number 17. That's BS Nerd 17, and you have to capitalize the BSN. So that's capital B, capital S, capital N, ERDS 17.
It's closing time, nerds.
All right. Closing time. Joe, what do you got?
I put out a podcast.
I fucking knew it. I knew that.
Joe's Fantasy Field Goal came out this Tuesday.
Brought to you by Ben Field Goal.
Brought to you by Ben Field Goal. Just go take a listen.
You better get that Twitter account, Ben Field Goal.
Ben Field Goal.
You gotta get that going.
Just go take a listen. I talked about some players I liked. I did a start sit, but without the sit. I just did a start.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was shocked by some of the owned by less than 50% teams.
Right? Yeah.
There's some real names out there.
I did a streaming thing for quarterbacks that you should, if you're in a single quarterback league, you can pick up off your waiver wire. Just have good matchups this week that I always do owned by 50% or less.
Mm-hmm.
That way they should be, at least one of the three will be on your waiver wire.
Yep.
Hopefully. So I gave you 3 quarterbacks to stream, 3 defenses to stream. I gave you some players who might still be available in your league after the draft, since it's week 1, that you can pick up if you have a weak spot or you added someone who is already hurt or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So. We did the best ball league this week.
Oh yeah, we did the best ball.
Oh yes,
right.
and we did the best ball league.
And I believe I have the best roster.
I would hope that everyone who drafted their team would believe they have the best roster.
No, I'll look at mine and I gloat a little.
I don't love yours.
You don't love?
I don't
mine?
love yours. I don't.
Why not?
I gotta see who's on it again. But it's good. I just don't know if it's the best one.
I think it was just hilarious.
I know I have Gillisley.
Yeah, you do.
And
this week you're gonna.
That counts for a lot this week. that's good. 3 touchdowns. Also, just to follow up on our bet, Gillisley off to a good start versus Ty Montgomery.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Aaron has Kirk Cousins, Sam Bradford, Leonard Fournette, Carlos Hyde, LeGarrette Blount, which I hate. Jonathan Stewart, I don't like. Deontay Foreman, I don't like.
Jonathan Stewart was like my second to last pick.
Right. And Shane Vereen. Like, I think your 2 best running backs are Fournette and Hyde. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Your wide receivers are good. Julio Jones, Devontae Adams.
What the fuck?
Larry Fitzgerald, Randall Cobb, Tyler Williams, Mohamed Sanu, Sterling Shepard, Kenny Stills, and then he has Rob Gronkowski and Jason Witten. It's good. It's a good team.
I just think,
I don't love mine. I don't think mine's the best one.
No.
But
I mean, Bradford I'm not happy about, but I was like, fuck it, he's a starter.
Yeah.
somewhere. He'll do something.
I wound up with, let's do this here. My roster is Marcus Mariota, Devontae Freeman, Tyreek Hill, Danny Amendola, Brandon Cooks, Kyle Rudolph, Ty Montgomery, Trevor Siemian, Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, Emmanuel Sanders, Theo Riddick, C.J. Fredericks, Adrian Peterson, Darren McFadden, under the impression that Ezekiel Elliott was going to be suspended, Willie Snead, and then auto-drafted Spencer Ware, which pisses me off. So that's where I'm at. I like having Devontae Freeman and Odell Beckham as like my two best players.
I just thought it was funny that like literally we talked about it and you were like, "You took Gronk, you son of a bitch."
Yeah, oh no, you did take Gronk.
When
no,
I
you
saw
did. Yeah,
some of
yeah.
the players going before him, I was like, I gotta take Gronk. Somebody's gonna take him, and you were behind me, one pick behind me.
Right. No, I was mad about that. And don't get me wrong, I think we all have good teams. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, these guys got players that I want. These guys have players I want. But Aaron loves himself.
Yes.
I get it. I dig it.
Based upon what I ended up with.
It's true. But yeah,
So
best ball
should
race
we
for you.
figure out what happens if one of us wins?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a shirt.
No, it's a hat. And
I already have a hat.
He already
well,
owns a
then
hat.
don't win.
The shirt is cheaper than the hat.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So there you go. I'm trying to save you
if
some
one of
money.
us wins, this is just the second place person. Whoever isn't a BS Nerds gets a hat.
I thought we were going to split the hat. I felt like we were going to buy the hat for the winner anyway.
Oh, all right.
So then it's just like if I win, you two buy the hat.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So then,
or if he wins, then you buy that.
just guys, get your money ready. So
Okay. All right.
because that's the fantasy expert.
All right.
Should win hopefully. Imagine if I came in
Yeah, I
last.
was gonna say, if you
I was
finished
gonna say,
dead
we'll
last-
leave some of the skeletons in the closet.
At least
from
you
this
weren't.
week, but-
Somebody, they probably auto drafted, but somebody drafted
Edelman.
Edelman.
I saw that.
Yeah, I
That's,
saw
how,
that. I was
that's how
like,
I got caught for Spencer Ware too.
I think it might be my father.
Yeah, that's your dad. That's what we were talking about earlier. He
Yeah.
is him and Doug Martin, but the Doug Martin one might work out.
Yeah,
down the road.
I'm guessing that the Edelman thing was like I'm not paying attention to my phone and it
Right.
auto drafted Edelman for me.
it was a quick draft. Like
This
it's
is
like
real quick.
2
That 30,
minutes.
that 30 seconds fucking.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's real quick.
Play draft is it's a little late to get in a best ball league now, but
Right. No, but this should be fun.
you can do. It's just like daily fantasy sports. Just you do a live draft and it's like 15 to 30 seconds a pick, so it moves. It's
Oh,
quick.
it did.
Yeah, it did.
You could do 3-team ones. You could do 6-team ones. They have 10-team ones.
Imagine a 3-team one.
There's money. There's money ones. You put money
Yeah,
in
so
there.
we should do a $5
3-team.
3-team one every week.
That'd be hilarious.
Little matchup.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Well, for my closing time, I just want to say that I do a podcast also too as well.
Put out a podcast.
I put out a podcast too also as well in addition to
TM.
shows. Yeah. So Dave Speaks came out last week. Aaron refers to it as a softball, as a layup for some reason.
Fucking softball.
He's a little mad about the content, I guess. But it was about the Patriots cut day and the roster, and I think what sparked a lot of the intensity today was, I think, kind of started to snowball on that show. Was just that the roster I'm not wildly overwhelmed with. I don't think they're bad. I still think they're going to win 13, 14 games. I think they're going to be a good team. But it's just in July, and they got Coney Ely and Guy and Cooks and Gilmore and Andrew Hawkins and all these guys that just seem to pile on. It was like, oh my God, they're so deep. They're so deep. Hawkins retires, Ninkovich retires, Chris Long's gone, Garrett Blunt's gone, whatever. Edelman's hurt, Amendola's hurt now. Now I'm just sort of like, oh, like it's really thin. And I don't think it's bad, but it's just
You
thin.
said something on that podcast that I was like, I don't like that point. And now I can't remember it at all.
All right, good to know. Very supportive cohort I have here.
It was towards the end when you were talking about how you don't like something.
About
what the hell was it? You said like I don't like or they're weak here, and I was like, you're not thinking about something else, but I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I cannot remember the way I see it.
Totally.
Was it the wide receivers?
It might have been the running backs. I don't remember exactly.
No, was it the wide receivers when I started saying they're not even the best in the AFC? Like I like Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant better than Cooks and Hogan, and I like Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper.
Actually, no, that was it. because you were
Actually, yeah. No, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Because you were, I think you fixed it after you said that. Now that I think about it, because you were like, I like Brandon Cooks, and I don't like Brandon Cooks and Chris Hogan as much as I like
Marty Cooper and Michael Crabtree.
Yeah,
whatever.
I was like, yeah, but do you like Rob Gronkowski and Brandon Cooks more than
yeah,
because that's what it is,
right? He's a pass catcher
Yeah.
for them, right? Yeah, I just was referring to the wide receiver core.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
'Cause
I think you said that afterwards, but
Yeah.
I remember at the time being like, yeah, but you're not looking at it the right way, Dave.
Right? come on, Dave.
Out loud to myself in my car, just
you
like,
have to,
Dave, you dumbass. That's not how you look at it.
There's a sweet way to word things to where it can make your point, and then someone will say, "Yeah, but you're forgetting about." Well, yeah, no, I wasn't talking about that. I just meant strictly the wide receiver core. But Grunk's still a weapon. Yeah, so check that podcast out. I got another one coming out next week, of course, on a bi-weekly podcast.
Why is it bi-weekly? It's like we just have a Sunday open. We just skip a Sunday or something like that.
No, there is WECP released every other week as well on weeks 2 and 4 or 1 and 3, however you want to word it. So, Aaron, go ahead. What do you got?
I as well release a podcast.
Two.
Sometimes. We two
You know
all
what?
have.
You know what? I do something.
You do.
I record it.
Aaron does a thing.
I do a thing and I record it and then I put it out there.
This and that.
So this week's going to be a little different. Jerry went to a Bradley Gilbert concert, apparently.
Why?
He sings that song about the tractors.
Oh, about Gilbert Grape.
I like country music. I don't like a lot of the new pop country.
I don't even know who you just talked about. This guy.
See,
I just assumed that he sang a song about a tractor.
I don't,
because it's a country artist.
I don't really know him, but it is what it is. So anyway, Jerry went and did that.
Yeah.
So you have to go through the excruciating pain of listening to me talk about wrestling for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you get to hear the sweet voice of my stepbrother, Kyle.
Nice.
Kyle Broder.
Called in. Yeah.
Did a little bit of a review / retrospective of Spider-Man movies and what we think of the on-screen adaptations of him are.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle and I just start cracking up about a couple things, just going back and forth, and how we usually are when we're just sitting around BSing about,
Mm-hmm.
our entertainment
stuff.
And I'll also talk a little bit about collectibles and stuff, some of the stuff that I've seen or picked up. And Force Friday happened last Friday, so
right.
The last Friday.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Who's the best Spider-Man villain?
Spider-Man villain?
Yeah. If you had to guess.
If I had to guess, it's either Green Goblin or depends on what you're into or what you want. It's either Green Goblin or I like Rhino.
The octopus dude?
Oh, Doc Ock. There's Doc Ock.
This dude about the pumpkin guy.
That's Pumpkin Guy. He throws pumpkins.
His name's Pumpkin Guy?
No, there's no Pumpkin Guy.
Oh. No, the guy, he's just like the Green Goblin, except he's a pumpkin instead.
No, there's the Hobgoblin.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's a different version.
But he's just like the Green
different
Goblin.
guy.
He rides in the glider and he throws pumpkins.
A little different.
No, it's the same.
No, it's a little different.
I don't think it's that different.
Well, anyway, Joe. You're not going to get me to say it, so.